Good afternoon. Before I start, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps this video out. Share it with some of your friends. I was actually going to record this video last night after the Game 7 between Boston and Toronto, but I wanted to wait, give it a thought, gather my thoughts a little. I thought the Raptors played really well. They forced the Game 7. Boston goes on to win the title. It looks a little different, but they don't. You understand. They probably shouldn't have been in that series a bunch of times. They played really well, and that's not really what I'm upset about. What I am really disheartened about is a lot of people are giving Pascal Siakam, Spicy P, a lot of crap. Like, just a lot. Now, I understand that the team just won a championship, and Pascal's now counted on to be the guy, is the best first option that the team ever had, and the second coming of Kawhi. That's not going to happen. Pascal is a good player. He did just sign a pretty big contract for $132 million guaranteed. It's a big deal. Probably the biggest deal in Toronto. Maybe a Jay makes a little more. I know there's no Leaf who makes that. Not even close. But like, the guy had a bad series. Relax. In my opinion, he looked like he was just trying too much and not playing his game out there. It's from what I saw, and that's just me. I don't play basketball. I just some idiot who talks on the smartphone and uploads videos to YouTube about it. But there was a lot of people saying trade him. Trade him, trade him, trade him. Honestly, I would understand that if this was maybe next year he has a bad series, or the year after he has a bad series. He's still only 26. Now, 26 isn't young, but he still has time. The biggest issue with Toronto isn't Siakam, because I don't think you're trading Siakam. I would be very surprised if you trade him. I'm sure a lot of teams would like him, would love him. I'm sure if he hit the open market last year, every team and their mother would have wanted to sign him. But then if Kawhi goes and Danny Green goes, and it's like, well, we lost Kawhi, we lost Danny Green, now we lost Siakam, it would have been a shit show, especially in Toronto. I don't know where you guys are from. I'm assuming a lot of you guys are from the States. However, Toronto's the biggest city in Canada. A lot of our national media, like CBC, has a big presence in Toronto. CTV has a big presence in Toronto. Global has a big presence in Toronto. Those are three really big Canadian media centers that we have. They're all located in Toronto. So, yeah, he has a lot of spotlight on him. He had a bad series. This team's still really good. They have a lot of young pieces. However, there are some players I think are leaving Toronto next year. I really think Marc Gasol's going. Made $25 million this season. He might want to stay. He's won a championship there. He probably really likes it in Toronto. A lot of players seem to. They're a European city. Been there once myself when I was younger. Saw a Jays game, but that's another story altogether. I don't think he comes back unless he takes significantly less money. Maybe around 15 million, maybe 10. But it's really hard to say what the salary cap will be next year because of the current situation. They also have to sign Ibaka. I wouldn't mind seeing Ibaka as their starting center next year. He's 5 years younger than Gasol. He doesn't have as much mileage. And last year was the second finals that he's been to. He's been one before with Oklahoma City. Now, in his prime, I think Marc Gasol is a better player. But Marc Gasol isn't in his prime right now. If he doesn't retire, I think he'll go also to Spain and play there for a few years. Or he'll go to a team that are kind of right there. Maybe like a playoff team, maybe like New Orleans or Portland or Phoenix, and kind of maybe you have that little bit of, you help flip that little bit of a switch. And he's 35, 36. So if you're 20, 18, 20, and your coach is in his 50s, it's a lot easier to go to Gasol and talk to him than if you're 20 or 19 or 18 and talking to a 50-year-old. It would just be it'd be a little more difficult. Or when I was 19, 20, I'd rather talk to someone who's 35, 36 than I would 50. It's just different mindset. Or he'll get a job as a front office. I think he'd be a good scout because he's played in Spain. Outside of that, you have Chris Boucher, the swatter boy, who I really do think needs to get re-signed. He's making about $1.5 million this year. I think maybe that's about what will get. Probably get some more starting time if Gasol goes. Good Canadian kid. going to sound a bit like Don Cherry. He's a good Canadian kid, boy, playing those good Canadian players. Yeah, go into the corners. Sorry, I'm from Canada. Saturday nights, hockey night in Canada, Don Cherry was always on. I think he'll probably get a bump and a raise, probably around the 2 million, 3 million offer. Really depends on what the cap's like. And that's really the only two people I can see themselves resigning massively. The year after, OG is up. Kyle Lowry is up. Kyle Lowry is going to be 36, 36, 35. The year after, I can kind of see Lowry going. I don't know where he would go, but if they're going to trade someone, it's probably going to be Gasol and Lowry. Although, as a Raptors fan, I don't know what the team would look like without Lowry. He's been there that long. However, getting back to the original point here, I don't know why there is so much hate on Pascal Siakam. Personally, in my personal opinion, I think he is the greatest Raptors draft pick. Maybe one or number two all time. I think he's the greatest Raptors draft pick since Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh was drafted 4. Let me just check, because I know Bosh was drafted around there. I believe he was drafted 4, but that was his jersey number in Toronto. Let me just look that up, because I am not 100% sure when Chris Bosh was drafted. I know he was drafted in the first round. So let's see here. This is according to Wikipedia, so don't quote me on this. I know he was drafted early. I don't live and breathe basketball. He was drafted 4th. That makes sense. Who was drafted 4th? Pascal's the 27th pick. You can make the argument for DeRozan, but I think Chris Bosh done more in his career than DeRozan did. And their other first-round draft picks are Rafael Araujo, who I remember. Not well, mind you. They also drafted, after Bosh, drafted Charlie Villanueva. Nothing against Charlie V. I thought he was a good player for his year in Toronto. But they made the right decision by trading him a year after. Joey Graham, biggest bust in Raptors history. Andrea Bargnani, who's, I don't even think he's even playing now. I'd be really surprised if he was. And DeMar. So he's at least the best draft pick since Chris Bosh. You might be able to make the argument for DeRozan, but it will be a thin argument to make. It's definitely not Bargnani. So Bargnani's also a good cautionary tale of drafting first overall in a weak draft. He didn't even play that well in Toronto. Bit of a tangent. But I don't know why there is so much hate about Pascal. He's a former G League MVP of the finals. He's won a G League title. He's just won a title in Toronto, which is the first major championship in that city since the Blue Jays did it in 92 and 93. To put that into perspective, I'm 33. I was 5 or 6 when the Jays last won the title. I wasn't even watching baseball, and I saw Blue Jays stuff. I still see Blue Jays stuff with the World Series on it. And that was, God, almost 30 years ago now. Yeah. And then the Blue Jays inevitably lost a lot of money, and the team fell apart. And there's a whole thing we could do on why the Blue Jays were bad for the early 2000s, late 90s. I remember watching some of those games on CBC. This is a bit of a tangent here. They were bad. And I have a really freaking runny nose. Hope it's not what I think it is, but probably just the cold. It's getting cold here in Halifax. The Jays. I was watching the Jays on CBC in Boyd's Cove, Newfoundland. And outside that, if you include MLS as a major U.S. sport, Toronto FC, the last one in 2016. They won one in 2019, but we won't go there. And, outside that, the Leafs last won a cup in 67. And if you include the CFL, I remember watching the Argos win a title. Forgive me, I'm not sure what year. Once again, CFL. Here I am talking about the CFL. Yay, Canadian football, 3 downs. I don't know why you would trade. I mean, there's nothing that the Toronto media hates, loves more than shitting on a star when he doesn't perform. Especially, like, Pascal just made the first All-Star. I think he has at least 13 All-NBA potential. I think he stays. Need to get off his back, or he will leave. Or just go, fuck, trade me. Um, but yeah, the city of Toronto has a really hard time keeping stars or blaming their stars for everything. You can instantly look at Phil Kessel. The guy had 30 goal seasons in Toronto as a Leaf, and they traded him to Pittsburgh. And they're like, yeah, we got rid of him. We got rid of his bad contract, and then he goes and wins 2 cups. You can look at Toronto for running off stars and being really bad at it in the media. Media needs to relax. He's only 27. What were you doing at 27? What was I doing at 27? Probably not, making $33 million a year shooting a basketball around. All I'm saying is lay off Pascal Siakam, and I think they have a good team moving forward. They have a lot of cap space. There are rumors of getting Giannis Antetokounmpo, but I think every team that plays professional basketball is going to try to sign Giannis Antetokounmpo. I would be actually surprised if teams like NFL teams didn't try to put him as a wide receiver or a corner kind of thing. Yeah, so after saying you need to lay off a little on Pascal, he's probably the best draft pick since Bosh, and look what happened to Bosh. He went to Miami. I don't blame him. But yeah, y'all need to lay off. There's still a really good team. A lot of contracts are coming off the book. Like I said, outside of Pascal, the longest contract on the books are 21, 22, and that's Norman Powell. And I think you bring Norm back. Outside that, it's Matt Thomas and Juan Hernangomez, who I didn't even know they had. Raptors are still paying Juan Hernangomez. Good to know. Outside that, Lowry comes off the books next year if you want to sign him or not. That's kind of a toss up. Maybe he takes less money. Patrick McCaw, three-ship McCaw, $4 million comes off the books next season, and Stanley Johnson comes off the books next season. I can see maybe those two players get packaged, and OG after next season will need his big boy contract. He's only making $3 million a season. Say it's at least doubled, but I don't think he's in the. Yeah, I think he probably get up to paying Fred VanVleet because he needs a contract next season, and he's definitely getting a raise in the $9 million. Make sure to hit like and subscribe, share this video around. Sorry, it's a bit rambly, but that's kind of how I am anyway. Y'all have a great day, and thank you for watching. Bye.